I first want to thank you.
Director of the Department of Juvenile Justice, Amy Floriano, stands before a group of state lawmakers Tuesday to respond to what they call disturbing reports of incidents at the Bonaire Youth Prison. Legislators wanted answers about extended lockdowns, staffing shortages, reports of residents lighting fires in the facility, a lack of access to rehabilitative programming, and conditions of confinement for the youth and DJJ's custody.
We're hearing from parents and advocates that they're locked in for a whole weekend in solitary confinement. That's not the practice that we want to see Bonaire adopt.
Floriano spent a good chunk of her presentation giving an overview of DJJ at large, and she showed pictures of some programs and events at Bonaire, including this activity where the residents simulated a trip to Jamaica.
They made their own passports. They obviously decorated to make it look like Jamaica. They had the little airplane that they came up with.
But some lawmakers felt that Floriano was missing the point.
I'm a little heated and I'm a little upset that we've spent all this time doing an overview of the department when there are rumors, and we're coming here today to figure out what's going on at Bonaire.
I am frustrated that until delegates and senators started interacting with this presentation, we spent 32 of your 42 minutes talking about things that have nothing to do with the safety and well-being of everyone who's at Bonaire.
Republican delegate Carrie Coyner, who represents Chesterfield, where Bonaire is located, referenced a letter that was sent by the county fire chief, which states the number of annual incidents at the facility requiring a fire and EMS response has more than doubled since 2023, jeopardizing the safety of more than just the residents and staff.
Every time our police and fire report, there's someone in Chesterfield County that also doesn't have somebody available on the other end of the line because they're at Bonaire.
Now, Floriano says DJJ is removing items from residents that are being used to start these fires, and she stressed that the incidents do not stem from a lack of supervision.
Am I surprised that we have 3 youth in the facility that are starting fires? No. Again, we have a percentage of youth in there that are seeking behaviors. They have mental health issues that come along with them, and they engage in these types of behaviors.
Floriano says that there have been 10 official lockdowns at Bonaire since August 2023, but she adds that there are also modified lockdowns and then other cases of restricted movement.
But we do not prioritize using lockdowns. They can have administrative holds due to behavior, but on the other hand, I do have to make sure that the remaining children in my facility are safe if someone is not capable of managing their own behavior at that time.
But Coyner was uninterested in debating the definitions between lockdowns, restrictions, and holds.
I continue to be frustrated by saying something is not a lockdown when you're understaffed and kids cannot move about the facility because there is a lack of staffing, which to every person would feel like and be a lockdown.
When pressed by lawmakers why Floriano was hesitant to an independent investigation of the escalating allegations surrounding Bonaire, she said that many claims contain vague details and that an outside group may be barred from accessing confidential information.
I can't study something without the details of what it is, right? And that's the point that we're in. I am prevented by 16.1300 from discussing the specific details of a use case. So even if we do an investigative study, who's going to do that? They can have access to this information.
There's also some structural and systemic issues that can be looked at from an organizational standpoint that would benefit from an independent investigative authority.
And now, ultimately, the commission voted unanimously to send a letter to Governor Glenn Youngkin to formally request an independent investigation of the facility's operations. Now, following the meeting, Floriano declined an interview with me when I asked. I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.